And
I mean, I do want to tie it into being a goalie because, I mean, it seems like you really take the same mentality because so much of being a goalie to me, now I've never been one, but from all the goalies I've watched, it seems like most of them have equal or whatever physical talent, but it seems to be like the mental aspect and the determination to stop everything. I mean, that crosses over, right, to exactly what you went through with fighting cancer.
Absolutely. I think so too. And I'm going to go ahead and say that. I mean, as far as I only played D3 hockey, but as far as that goes, physically, I was not one of the best goalies in the league at all. But mentally, I don't think there's anybody really that could be on the same level, and that's what made the difference.
Well, all right. Now, you got to talk about what you've been doing because not only did you beat cancer, like we said, I mean, you dominated cancer. You shut out cancer. Not only did you do that, but then you decided that you needed to help other people too, go through the same thing that you went through. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I guess when I was going through it, there was it was tough having to see like the kids go through the whole process. There was actually one individual. I guess we'll get into this. She's the reason for Saves for a Cure. She has no idea about this. But
do you even know who she is, by the way?
I barely know her name, but yeah, she's a very very impressive little girl. But in radiation, there's 2 waiting rooms. You know, you get into the other waiting room. Finally, you wait everything. You wait for everything, but that's fine. You know, they save your life. I'll wait. But then in the second waiting room, there's a guy, and I don't know, he's probably 40. He's got he shaved his head. I thought he had a bald head. I assumed he was the one receiving treatment, and he had his little daughter there with him. And I'm thinking that's awesome. She's there supporting her father. Then all of a sudden they call a name. She gets up to leave, and that literally was the only time I broke down during the entire cancer treatment. I'm not good at talking about it, but yeah, it's she seeing that and knowing that she did nothing to deserve what she had. It was and to walk out of there with a smile on her face, it was pretty impressive. And I knew at that point that, I mean, like, I didn't have it that bad. I knew I was gonna be fine. I don't know. But to see her, it motivated me to try to help all the other kids that are having similar struggles.
So how did you get everything started? I know that you were running an illegal charity for a little while, right? I mean, how did you,
Yeah.
well, I shouldn't call it illegal, but, you know, you were kind of raising money without all the paperwork. But, you know, now you're legit. Now you're all set to go. I mean, talk about, like, the growth of Saves for a Cure and just how that's kind of all come about.
We had to figure out, too. I mean, I was 22. I decided I wanted to start my own business. How do I do that? I had no idea.
Yeah, you're only a business major, right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't at the time. I was bio and chem major until that didn't work out. But I'm business now, which makes sense. But
it does.
Yeah,
bio and chem for a goalie. What's
good. Bad news.
Doesn't make any sense.
Too much. Well, through hockey, the one guy, he basically hasn't missed any home games in like 9 years probably. His name is Bob Comfer. He has his own company. It's called Comfer Plastics, and one day he found me on Facebook. He says, like, you know, if I ever need any help with Saves for a Cure, you know, let him know. And I was like, well, how do I do this? And then he's like, well, you're gonna need a lawyer. And I was like, well, I don't have one. Do you have any connections? And he actually hooked me up with his lawyer. And he basically, I mean, it's not free to start a business. It costs money. And then he's been the one to put the money forward and kind of give me advice. I'd say he's like an advisor for me for sure. And that's why I decided when it was time to make the board of directors, I made sure he was on the board with me.
Well, if you're just joining us, I'm talking with Todd Sheridan. Now you're former Brockport goalie, right? Yeah. Well, how's that feel?
It's weird. I couldn't even watch the Olympics. I didn't watch. It was right after our season ended, man. I was like, it messed me up in the head to not be able to play anymore.
You missed that? Well, what about now? What about the playoffs?
I'm watching a little bit more.
Oh, really?
A little bit more, yeah.
You know, I know how you feel. When I stopped playing baseball, it was kind of the same thing. It kind of hurt me a little bit. So I get that. So, yeah, this is Todd Sheridan, former Brockport goalie. I've enjoyed watching you play the last couple of years out of Brockport. I think you had a very, very solid career. Now you've got Saves for a Cure going on, but you're also doing other stuff, right? Tell me about that.
It's all through Saves for a Cure. There's a couple different things. The one is called Smiles for Life. It's with the local dentist in Brockport, Maxwell Thaney. He's basically what he's doing. He's giving half off for whitening, Smiles for Life, and like a company is donating all the supplies. So he's not getting paid for anything. You can normally it's $400 to get your teeth whitened. They brought it down to $200.
$400.
Yeah, I know, but it's worth it, man. I did mine. Look, white.
Well, looks
Yeah,
good.
thanks.
Looks good. I just brush, but I don't have $400 either. So
Yeah, well, I'm looking. You might need some, but anyway.
Ouch.
It's only $200, so what they're doing is $100 of the dollars goes to Smiles for Life, and 100 goes to Saves for a Cure. And I mean, we have I don't know, like over 12 people. It's going to run to the end of June, and I mean that's great though. I mean, $1,200 in the bank account.
Two things. I mean, first of all, you've told me before that you don't pay anybody. All the money is going to what?
Say the bank account. Everything is going 100% revenue company, which makes it so much harder on me. But it's I can sleep at night, look in the mirror, knowing that I'm not making any money off this, and it's going to be going to Strong Memorial, the Wilmot Center, the cancer center near Strong, and it's the idea is that our goal is to not just give money to like just random hospitals, because a lot of times with hospitals, not necessarily this one, but it would often pay salaries.
Right.
And what we want to do is work with them and find what they need to make the experience better. Because I think the idea of looking for that pill to cure cancer, that's great. But for right now, doctors and people cure cancer. What is it? 13 hours. It'll be my 5-year official.
Wow.
So 13 hours, I will be
I really timed this out good. I didn't even know that when I asked you to come on the show, that it would be 5 years.
Yeah.
That's really incredible.
Yeah.
So you're trying to, do you ever think that once this gets bigger, that you are going to eventually have to spend some money, and you're going to try to stay 100% going right from your hands to people fighting cancer?
That's the goal, man. I mean, the more it gets, the more help I realize I need. I mean, I had Brett Gender help me with the Smiles for Life thing. He's a teammate of mine. I basically made him a project manager. He was appointed, not hired, because he didn't get paid. But I mean, it's a situation like this too. It's good for him too, because not only did he do a great job, but he has the ability to put this on his resume now. He can say that he helped a nonprofit like significantly, and he's the one responsible. Him and the Maxwell Thania are the ones responsible for the money coming in, not me. So it's great to see.
Well, I think utilizing our alma mater, Brockport. I mean, well, have you graduated yet?
No, one more year.
Loser.
Yep.
So anyway, well, no, utilizing that is huge. I mean, to really get this better. Now, savesforacure.com is the website you can go to. What do you think? A little improvement on the site? Is that what's coming?
That's actually the next thing, I think, because we have that going on. I actually have a photo shoot. We don't need to get into that too much, but it's for
let's talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
It's for a.
You've been practicing the Zoolander look, the puffy lips.
I am ridiculously good looking, but I think I do. I have a face for radio, I think. So I don't know. The lady Kim Vogt, I think is her last name. I've only had contact with her through email, and she had this idea of like a cancer survivor calendar, and we'll work on the name maybe, but it's pretty cool that she's doing it. There's a whole bunch of people who beat cancer who are going to be in there, and the goal was to think of a good movie and pick a character in there to portray. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do?
Well, come on.
Yeah, but then I was like, after a minute or two, I was like, I got it perfect. I have brown gear. I've been wearing retro gear for the past year, just kind of throwback to the old guys, and I thought nobody better than Jim Craig. I mean, one of the best goalies, him, Mike Richter. I mean, come on, best American goalies ever.
Mike Richter?
Yeah, I'm a Ranger fan.
Well, I do have an inside source saying that the Rangers are going to be hooked up with the Amerks soon, so maybe that's your...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
it could happen.
I don't know.
But I'm not particularly into the Rangers. Oh, they're original 6, so you're good.
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool. The brown pads.
Yeah, brown pads.
I've always thought that was cool that you went with the brown pads. Why'd you go with that?
Well, actually, I'll admit I stole the idea from Carey Price. I saw a picture of him. I was like, that was awesome. I've been kind of known around the league to be a little out there for sure. Not always the most liked person on the ice in the league, but. I don't know. It kind of fit my style. I kind of play a little bit of old school style after all my injuries and stuff. So it made sense, and I thought they're cool. But I don't suggest it to anybody because they make them in different material. And my coach didn't know, but by the time the third period came around, those things were so heavy.
Oh, they were getting wet.
I couldn't admit it to him though.
Well, no, you can't give any excuses. But I know I've heard guys say, well, the white ones make you look better, or bigger. The white ones, guys think they have holes where they do. That's a bunch of crap.
No, I told you, I'm 6'3", 215. I can't look too much bigger.
No, exactly. That's all they're trying to go for. Yeah. So we're going into now, your summer here, so you should have plenty of time, right? You have plenty of time to work with Saves for a Cure.
Trying to. Yeah.
What else? I mean, what else? What can people do to help? That's what I want to know. What can our listeners do to help Saves for a Cure?
Well, other than obviously donate money, I think a lot of it is just like donate time. Anybody who has the possibility to maybe help me with the website, that would be great. Because I don't know what I'm doing, and the person who I had moved, so we're kind of at a standstill. I do have a Facebook page for Saves for a Cure, which I've updated a lot more significantly with everything I've done. All the media articles is all there.
You know what? Maybe we can find somebody. Maybe we can find somebody who will work on it. Anybody who's listening, if you can help out with the website, obviously we can't pay you, but you would be doing certainly a big service. You can email me, bluelineshow.com, or at bluelineshow.com, bluelineshow@gmail.com. If anybody wants to reach out, maybe try to give us a hand, or I could see who I know. But listen, savesforacure.com is the website. Saves for a Cure on Facebook. Todd, it's been really great having you in here.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hey, what you do for this too, I do appreciate it. This is a way of basically volunteering your time, so I do appreciate it, man. You've gotten it right from day one.
Well, it doesn't really feel like it to me, though. It feels like me, because I think you're a good dude, and I really think that there's a big difference between just beating something and saying, oh, yeah, sure, I'll help people, and then doing it,
Yeah, well, I feel like I could be doing more, too, so I hear you.
Well, Todd, I really appreciate you coming on, and we'll be back here talking more hockey on the Blue Line next week here on Sports Radio 950 ESPN.